prosecute the case against President Trump made a historic procession through the halls of the United States Capitol, and for the third time in American history, hand-delivered articles of impeachment against a president to the Senate.
As we make that history, we will be making progress for the American people, progress in support of our Constitution, progress in honor of the sacrifice and the vision of our founders.
A message from the House of Representatives.
The Senate's acceptance of the articles has officially set the gears of the impeachment trial into motion.
The message will be received
at the hour of 12 noon on Thursday, January 16, 2020. The Senate will receive the managers on the part of the House of Representatives in order that they may present and exhibit the articles of impeachment against Donald John Trump, President of the United States.
I'm Andy Rose reporting.
Kalamazoo Public Schools addressing recent concerns after bed bugs were found at Millwood Magnet School last week, according to a post on the district's Facebook page. They were found last Wednesday and then treated on Friday of last week after students and staff left the building for the weekend. But just yesterday, another bed bug was found, and the district says Rose Pest Solutions inspected the school with the help of a canine and found no more bugs. As a precaution, they plan to increase how often canine inspections are done at Millwood Magnet. KPS says they have established an inspection schedule at all their buildings now.
The city of Battle Creek planning to ask the Trump campaign for reimbursement after his December rally cost the city more than $90,000. City manager there, Rebecca Fleury, says 95% of that was staffing through departments like police, fire, and facilities maintenance. The other 5% is a mix of other operations like city vehicles and placing barricades. She says even though they only had a short time to get ready for that rally at Kellogg Arena, she believes the city executed their plans as best as they could. So the $93,000 tab actually didn't surprise her.
You know what? I didn't really think about it from how much it was going to cost the city. It was that making sure that we were planning and mobilizing to be prepared for that kind of special event. I really just didn't think about I thought about tracking, but not really about how we were going to get reimbursed or what it's going to be. We just wanted to make sure that everybody was safe on during that particular event. And then, certainly if there's a possibility of being reimbursed, we should certainly try.
Fleury says they will submit for reimbursement in the coming weeks. Kellogg Arena has already submitted their request for $33,000. A young reporter in Michigan says a state lawmaker made a suggestive comment about her in front of a group of high school boys.
Yeah, he claims she misquoted him. Jason Colthorpe spoke to both about that encounter.
1 second, I'm a reporter trying to get this story that my editor asked me to grab. And then the next second, I'm a 15-year-old girl who just made fun of in front of the entire football team. It's what it felt like.
Allison Donahue is describing an awkward moment in the Senate chamber Tuesday with Senator Pete Lucido of Shelby Township. The 22-year-old reporter was there for a comment on a story for the Michigan Advance when she says Lucido asked if she knew about the De La Salle all-boys school that he was about to honor on the Senate floor. She said no. He said, quote, "You should hang around. You could have a lot of fun with these boys, or they could have a lot of fun with you."
Hearing all the boys laugh, and it took me immediately out of, I'm a reporter, I'm in my career, I don't know these boys, I don't know this man, and I was immediately embarrassed and I felt small.
But that's not how Senator Lucido remembers it.
I said, we're going on the floor to have some fun, you're welcome to join us. This thing about what she interpreted sexually or otherwise, it's unfortunate. It really is, truly unfortunate.
So the quote, you're saying the quote is not accurate?
It's not accurate, no. The people that sent me here from my district, they sent me here for a reason, because I'm true, I'm genuine, and I'm direct. For somebody to misquoting me for whatever gain there is, and I know she's a reporter, she's a journalist, I gotta say that it doesn't matter how she took it, it's how she wanted to take it, not how I did.
That was Jason Colthorpe reporting. Donahue, meanwhile, says she confronted Lucido about the comment shortly after he made it, and he tried to justify it but didn't deny those words. Lucido issued a statement today, however, apologizing for offending her. Well, it's not only the flu that's going around in record numbers these days, so is a potentially fatal respiratory virus impacting kids.
I've been doing this for 35 years now, and I don't know that I've ever seen a year that's been this busy.
Why, that doctor thinks the spike is happening and the measures that you can take to protect your family.
I look at it like I'm paying it forward. It'll be paid forward back to us as well.
Yeah, customers of the former Jay Salon frustrated with gift card purchases only to see them close up their business. But another salon is now stepping in to help.
Do you ever wonder what the animals at the zoo do during the winter time? What about the ones who've never seen snow before? Our Sarah Grimmer found out. Stick with us to get the answers.
You're watching Fox 17 News.
One doctor says he's seeing a type of respiratory virus in children more this year than the past 3 decades.
Yeah, Angeline McCall spoke with him about what parents can do to keep their families a little healthier. Angeline?
Yeah, Derek and Janice, RSV, or respiratory syncytial virus, can seem like a common cold, but in young children or infants, it can have very serious side effects.
Dr. Dan McGee has been treating children for 3 decades.
I've been doing this for 35 years now, and I don't know that I've ever seen a year that's been this busy.
He's seen twice as many patients this year at Spectrum Health as he did last year for RSV.
And it started very early. Normally, we don't even start seeing the virus until after Christmas, and we started seeing it before Thanksgiving.
RSV affects the respiratory tract, making it hard to breathe, eat, and swallow. In the worst cases, children may need to be hospitalized.
It's concerning that we're seeing this many because it's kind of putting a burden on the whole healthcare system. We're getting a lot of children that are very ill. Our ICU has hit record numbers last month and this month for respiratory infections, and it's just putting a burden on the whole system.
Doctors say the best prevention is keeping children away from anyone who's sick, washing your hands, and making sure people don't kiss your babies.
So not every child that gets RSV needs to come in the hospital, but the things you need to watch for is if your child is really working hard to breathe, is acting out of it, or is refusing to eat or drink.
Dr. McGee estimates they've probably seen more than 160 kids with RSV since September, which is about double month to month from last year. At this point, they can't pinpoint exactly what is causing so many little patients to come down with RSV, but we do know that it is highly contagious. Live in the studio, Angeline McCall, Fox 17 News.
Good to know. Thanks, Angeline. One of downtown Grand Rapids' longest standing properties is coming under new management.
McKay Tower on Monroe Center being bought by 2 Native American tribes. Annie Satowski live in the newsroom with more on the historical move here. Annie?
Yeah, Derek, Janice, both Gun Lake Investments and Wasabec, development company says that this was a chance they just couldn't pass up, purchasing the McKay Tower for $17.5 million. The tribes say it feels like they've returned home.
An exciting day in the history of our tribes. It's an exciting day for McKay Tower and for downtown Grand Rapids.
Deidre Mitchell, president and CEO of the Wasabec Development Company, thrilled with the joint purchase of Grand Rapids' 5th tallest building. After moving their headquarters to the downtown area in October 2018, Mitchell says the Wasabec wanted to deepen their roots.
Wasabec and its subsidiaries has grown dramatically in the last 36 months. We've gone from 3 employees to 285. We've gone from 3 subsidiaries to 13 operating businesses.
McKay Tower will remain a mixed-use building, featuring retail and office space, an event venue, and 3 floors of luxury apartments. Gun Lake Investment CEO Curtis Trayvon says the investment is more than just buying a building.
This investment is more than just the purchase of a building. The Grand River Valley is our ancestral home. This land and everything around it has great historical meaning to the tribe. We are honored to be able to invest here in the community that we are from, within the state that we live. It is a testament that together we will continue to build a stronger, more prosperous region.
The non-gaming related partnership rarity not lost on the rest of the tribal community.
So a lot of times we are considered the invisible population. Not many people know about us. Now, if we hang with each other, so we know each other. We know we exist. But the reality is, when we go talk to other people, they don't always know we exist. So today's announcement is very exciting because it's putting your footprint. The tribes are putting their footprint on where their ancestors once walked. And that's a beautiful thing.
Now, the tribes say business operations will go on as normal for the foreseeable future, adding the goal is to build on an existing business model that continues to benefit the city. In the newsroom tonight, Annie Satowski, Fox 17 News.
All right, Annie, thank you for that. State police have yet to identify the victim of a deadly crash this morning. It happened just before 1 a.m. in Portland on I-96 near Kent Street. State police say the man was headed west when his car went off the freeway, hit a tree, and then caught fire. He died at the scene, but the crash is still under investigation.
A man accused in a deadly stabbing this weekend has now been charged. 52-year-old Lamont Player is facing 1 count of second-degree murder. The stabbing happened early Sunday at a home in Grand Rapids off Bate Street. Investigators believe there may have been some kind of argument beforehand. The victim, Tracy Hunter, died there at the scene. No word yet on when Player will next be in court. A deputy and another woman are recovering tonight after a crash in Ottawa County this morning. Happened around 6 a.m. in Georgetown Township off Port Sheldon near 34th Avenue. Investigators say the woman was heading west on Port Sheldon when she crossed the center line and hit that deputy's cruiser head on. That deputy was pinned inside for a short time. Both had to be airlifted to the hospital and are expected to be okay.
Well, just days after state police announced a problem with breathalyzer devices, it is back in service. Van Buren County says their Data Master evidential breath alcohol testing instrument was inspected and certified for use. The unit was one of several identified by state police as having possible discrepancies. State police say the problem was the result of a potential fraud by employees that work on the devices. No word yet, however, if any of legal cases may have been impacted by the issue.
Well, the warmer months are a great time to enjoy the zoo, but when we aren't checking out the animals in the winter, have you ever wondered what they're doing?
They probably never ever see snow out in the wild, but they can experience it and play in it, on a warm winter day here in Michigan.
Yeah, coming up next, we take a look at John Ball Zoo and see how the animals spend their winter months.
Here's what the weather map is expected to look like for our area on Saturday morning at 6 a.m. Big low pressure system here. Heavy, thick, wet snow across almost all of the area pretty much, with several inches of accumulation possible. We'll track this into and through the area and look at forecast totals coming up in just a few minutes.
Well, if you've ever wondered where the animals at the zoo go during the cold winter months, you're not alone.
So our Fox 17 Sarah Grimmer went to John Ball Zoo to investigate.
We all know what it's like at the John Ball Zoo during the open season, when it's 70 degrees and sunny out. But what about in the wintertime when it's 30 degrees and the zoo is closed? We're not here, but the animals still are.
The animals don't always know. They don't know what the weather forecast is, no matter how many times I tell them, right?
That's zookeeper Keith Sprague.
So a lot of our animals that are native to North America actually go in and out all winter long.
He tells us that many of their animals, like lions, red pandas, and bears, can actually handle the snow all right.
There's a lot more to it than that.
That's true. They actually have two habitats during the winter months. One inside for when the cold is too much.
So they've got a large building with all sorts of different den setups so they can go in different places. There's a lot more work put into making sure they're entertained. So more enrichment, more things for those animals to do when they're inside.
And one outside to enjoy the winter elements.
So chimpanzees they probably never ever see snow out in the wild, but they can experience it and play in it. On a warm winter day here in Michigan, and then come back inside to warm up and get a treat.
Now, as far as the birds, they don't like the cold temperatures as much. A majority of them actually hang out inside of here, the bird barn.
All the birds that are not native to the U.S., typically they're going to be tropical or subtropical species, and they end up here.
Among those birds are the toucans, budgies, and flamingos. When they start and end their stay at the bird barn is
all dependent upon the weather.
But at least their diet stays consistent.
These birds get tropical fruit all winter long. Even though it's the middle of winter in Michigan, we still have access to that sort of thing.
One bird family definitely not eating those tropical fruits: penguins. Their fishy diets and environment, like all their neighbors in the aquarium exhibit,
just stays the same all winter long.
So really there are three different answers. Some animals, it doesn't even matter that it's wintertime. Some animals live half indoors and half outdoors during the winter, and some animals have specific warming shelters that they need for the winter months. Who knew? Reporting in Grand Rapids, I'm Sarah Grimmer for Fox 17 News.
Who knew? Indeed. Good stuff. Thanks, Sarah. Yesterday, we told you about a salon that went out of business shortly after selling gift cards. Now another salon is stepping in to help out.
Coming up, why these owners decided to do the right thing for customers originally left out of money and out of time.
We're going to see some colder air filtering overnight. That'll start some light lake effect snowmaking machine thing going on, especially along and west of 131. That's what we're looking at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Just light stuff. Temperatures around 27 degrees. And we've got a much bigger system arriving Friday night into Saturday. We'll track that into and through the area and give you our take on snowfall totals coming up next.
Well, some relief for customers who recently bought gift cards from a salon that suddenly closed its doors.
After our story aired, another salon stepped up to honor those gift cards, even hire stylists who lost their jobs. Problem solver Darren Cunningham has the update tonight.
I'm creating a win-win situation. I'd love to earn the business from the people that this happened to, and for them to come and experience the James Salon experience.
James Garnett owns the James Salon and Spa and just opened a new location in Ada in August.
He says people forwarded him a link to the Problem Solvers story that aired Tuesday on the J Salon. Owners Kurt and Renee Tellman announced the sudden closure of their business on Facebook the same day it closed, December 28th, leaving many upset and confused customers, blindsided after buying gift cards as Christmas gifts, like Jessica Camps, who bought a $150 gift card for her mother on December 13th.
I've seen other posts that nobody's responded to anybody else's calls, emails. I haven't heard anything.
So Garnett says he wanted to find a way to help those affected.
I'm acquaintances with them, and I know a part of their story, so I do know this is a good people that just something unfortunate happened with them. Unfortunately, it affects customers and part of the community too.
The James Salon coming through in a big way, also hiring stylists who were reportedly given 10 days notice of the impending closure. Kurt Tellman only told me he's filing Chapter 13 bankruptcy, but didn't offer any further information, and deactivated the Facebook page after our story. But Garnett says he's here to help.
I have no idea how many outstanding are out there. I look at it like I'm paying it forward. It'll be paid forward back to us as well.
In Ada, Darren Cunningham, Fox 17 News.
Darren, thank you. Those gift cards will be good at both James Salon locations in Ada and also in East Grand Rapids. If there's something that you want Darren to look into, you can send an email to problemsolvers@fox17online.com. You can also join our Problem Solvers group on Facebook.
Well, check this out. New data from NASA and NOAA declares the 2010s is the warmest decade on record. In 2019, the second warmest year ever since record keeping began, just behind 2016. NASA says every decade since the 1960s has been clearly warmer than the one before it. Seth Borenstein, a scientist writer for the Associated Press, went into depth about the trend.
There's 140 years of record keeping, and both NOAA, the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, and NASA both look at temperature records.
Well, scientists have concluded human-made climate change is a main catalyst behind the increase in those global temperatures, however.
So we know that warmer days are ahead, maybe not as warm as 2019,
Wow.
but it's nice to think about that, Kevin, at least when we're looking at these chillier temperatures.
Yeah, and those chillier temperatures are coming in overnight and over the next couple of days. And then for next week, we're only going to be in the 20s, it looks like, with lake effect snow. I've got a ton of stuff to talk about, so we'll get right to it. Good evening, everybody. It's quiet conditions out there in Grand Rapids right now. In the weather headlines, some light lake effect snow will be possible along and west of US 131. Tonight, it's a colder air comes in, and that'll go into early tomorrow morning, but probably an inch or less is what we're talking about there. Cooler temperatures arrive tomorrow, and temperatures probably go backwards tomorrow. I don't think they're really going to climb at all. Accumulating snow Friday and into Saturday. We've been talking about that for several days now, so you folks should be aware of that. Had about 850 people on the Facebook Live this evening that have a pretty good handle on what's going on. So let's inform all of you folks out there. I want to show you the scope of this. These are already winter storm watches that are posted across 6 states for that system that's coming in on Friday night. And again, it's to show you the scope. Huge system by the scope of things. And I would expect that these are going to go eastward too. Probably tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow morning, but tomorrow afternoon. The National Weather Service will likely issue a winter storm watch for us for Friday night going into Saturday because of that storm system. And you'll understand why when I show you some things here in just a couple of moments. We got a few light snow showers, flakes and flurries around Muskegon County, and that's about it. But as the colder air comes in, it's not in yet. As it does, those will probably flare up overnight. The winds are going to pick up overnight as well. Our temperature is still above freezing at all reporting stations, but we're going to fall below freezing into the upper 20s by tomorrow morning. So that means anything that's liquid on the roadways will freeze. Look at the colder air that's out here. Wow, it is 16 degrees below zero in Minot, North Dakota out there. That colder air is here. That's what's going to come in over the lake overnight, pick up some moisture and probably start some lake effect snow showers. Again, they'll be light because the moisture column is not very deep. So it's a reasonably dry air mass. So we're not looking for a lot of lake effect snow here this time around. Clouds and radar movement over the last several hours. Lots of cloud cover around. That cold air is going to come in here, and then tomorrow morning you'll see those snow showers. Actually, overnight into tomorrow morning, we're going to flare up from Lake Michigan. So the forecast for tomorrow then, well, some morning lake effect snow showers along and west of US 131. Otherwise, I'll call it mostly cloudy, but frankly, along and east of US 131 by the afternoon, we may start to see some sunshine, but I think our temperatures go nowhere. We're in the mid-20s, and they may actually fall throughout the second part of the day. We'll have a wind turning northwest tomorrow about 10 to 20 miles per hour, so it will feel like it's in the teens. Make sure you bundle up the kids at the bus stop, not only tomorrow morning, but again on Friday morning, it's going to be down into the teens. Here's what we're looking at with Future Track HD. High pressure is going to be building in here tomorrow afternoon. We should break up some of the cloud cover, especially east of US 131. As that's overhead, we'll see clear to partly cloudy skies Thursday and into Friday. We start Friday with some sunshine. Friday daytime hours, no problem. We'll just thicken the cloud cover up, but look at this heavy swath of snow, all where you just saw those winter storm watches posted. That's off to our west at dinner time on Friday. By the time we go into Friday evening and then through the overnight hours into